It's the Gauntlet. Let's go.
If you smell what the Gauntlet is cooking.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and early happy Halloween. Tonight we are going to be welcome you into another episode of Gauntlet. Tonight we are going to be doing the worst Halloween candy ever of all time as our non-sports topic. So shout out to Tyler, who is known as the Candy Police. So woo woo woo. That's definitely going to be a fun conversation, but we're going to talk about everything that's going around the NFL, our Gauntlet Grinders of the Week, our Player of the Week, Marcus Allen. Can't wait to talk about him. Can't wait to talk about, everything else going on around the NFL. So thank you guys for tuning in here as a part of this Sideline Sports Network Empire. But let me get my crew in the building. We got Houston Jay in the building. And yes, we're having beef right now, as you guys can see, because even though it's a football show, we're wearing Phillies and Houston Astros. So the World Series is going to be good. I'm very excited for it. The energy in Philly is crazy. I don't know what it's been like in Houston, but even after winning versus the Padres, I can tell you there was people in Philly that were climbing the poles and doing stupid stuff. So it's always fun to see that, but I'm very excited for the World Series and everything.
Yeah, most definitely. Same here. You got two teams that are essentially buzzsaws right now, and I said that the Phillies are the worst kind of team to face right now because they barely made the
I'm sure
playoffs.
you would have much rather played the Padres.
I would have said the same thing with the Padres too. They barely made the playoffs and they got hot at the right time. Now on Houston's side, Houston's riding an unbeaten streak in the postseason. Only the third team in the wild card era to make the World Series undefeated in the playoffs. So it's definitely it should be an exciting series. I'm ready.
And then we got our main man Detroit Dom in the building. What just happened? All right,
I was trying to bring him up. There we go.
Happening again.
There you
go. Okay, so Detroit Dom, what's up, bro?
What up?
Show the people what you're wearing tonight. It's the 1-year anniversary of
there it is.
The candy episode. What up, James? Let's go Phillies. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go Phils. Red October. So without further ado, Sports Morons of the Week, gentlemen. You guys know what Sports Morons of the Week is. If it's your first time watching the show, guys, this is where we talk about the dumbest moments and dumbest things, dumbest quotes in the sports world. So, without further ado, anybody want to take it away?
Jay, you go first.
Well, I was doing a bit of thinking on this one, and it's kind of hard to come up with something. I was gonna address the ones who I guess had a problem with Jalen Hurts representing his childhood team and everything. Because it's like, well, he's a Astros fan.
Jalen caved into the Philly fans.
He did? When?
He had an interview and he was like, are you going to be rooting for the Astros? And he was like, oh, I love Houston and everything and blah, 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 but Philly is my home now, so I'm rooting for Philly. So I'm like, okay, bro. Like, he's saying that because he knows that the Philly fans are going to make
I'm willing to bet you he was told to say that. So you know what? I'm just going to say Sports Moron this to the media because he obviously was told to say that. Let me ask you a question. Because I haven't seen the clip yet. When he said it, how was his expression? Did it look sincere?
I mean, Jalen, he doesn't really have like expressions, bro. Like this guy, he's cold-blooded. Like he's always serious about everything. So yeah, I've never seen anything like it. He's just so even keeled with everything. So it's hard to tell. He doesn't really show emotions a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he was the same way at Bama and Oklahoma as well. So I don't know. I'm
I
still
like
gonna
it.
say I was. I'm still gonna go as far as saying I'm willing to bet he was told to say that. That he was told that it's tradition that even though you're not from here, if you play here, you're a fan of the teams. He tried to keep it real, and someone was like, "Hey, man, it might be a bad move," but it just goes to show you, like, root for who you root for. There's nothing wrong with
I don't
rooting for your
personally have no
hometown
issue
team.
with him. I would have no issue if he said he was rooting for the Astros at all.
Yeah, well, he's from Houston,
I didn't
so
know he was from Houston until today.
yeah, he's from Channelview. It's right out. It's a suburb of Houston. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have no concrete moron. That one kind of like irked me the wrong way. It's like, you can't expect someone to go against the team that they grew up for. I
Childhood team,
understand.
yeah.
I understand because, like, okay, next week the Eagles play the Texans. Now he likely grew up a Texans fan. Of course, he's playing for the Eagles, so it's going to be a different story. You know what I'm saying? But as far as anything else, because let's face it, as far as that tradition goes, you're just gonna have athletes just hopping cities. I mean, like what? Okay, so Tyreek Hill was what, a Royals fan, and then now he's a Marlins fan. Like, at some point, when is it like, yo, look, I rock with y'all when y'all not playing my team. So that's all I got. Dom, you got somebody?
A Marlins fan. What's that? Oh, you mean me in the 90s? Yes, I have one, assuming that they actually exist. My sports morons of the week, assuming they actually exist. If Ben Simmons has any actual fans left, the ones that got all hype in the preseason, like, oh, he's back, he's on a what, 8-game single digit point streak. Never been on one longer than 2. Suffice it to say, oh, Dennis Green's dead too, isn't he?
Denny Green, yes.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Denny Green. But suffice it to say, Ben Simmons is who we thought he was.
Oh, and I have another thing to add to that for Dom Sports Moron, because I saw this on Twitter. This is from a few days ago, so I'm not sure there's been more games since then. But James Harden this season, 107 points and 39 assists. Ben Simmons this season, 17 points and 21 assists. And he's pretty sure he fouled out like 3 times already in the season. So
He did. And he's
Did
still
you see that
starting proud.
they're calling the Nets the East Coast Lakers now?
The Sixers and the Nets are both 1-4, but the Sixers won the trade. I do not care what anyone says. We won the trade, and I don't want to hear anything else about it. But I'm not going to really say anything about my sports moron. I'm just going to show you guys who my sports moron is, and then we can have a little reaction to it. So I'm just going to get everything pulled up here real quick. Here we go.
Billy going down to yellow and brown. That's what's in. Padres on the loose. Let's go, Goose. That's what's in. Bryce gonna lose, and Manny's gonna cruise. That's what's in. Give Philly no slack and send them back. That's what's in.
All right. Nothing else needs to be said about that. So
I want to know what they was drinking.
Say what?
I want to know what they was drinking. Had to be Mad Dog margaritas or something.
I want to know, the whole song was just, there was no melody. Like, everything was off key. They were just like a bunch of drunk, 55-year-old guys in Southern California that were, going around acting a fool. I promise you that if these guys came to Philly and were singing stuff like this, like, let's say they were on Broad Street, walking down Broad Street, and saying that's what's in, like, somebody would knock these guys out, even if they're 50 years old.
Was that supposed to be singing or rapping? Because they failed at both.
As soon as I saw the video, like, it was before game 1, I'm pretty sure. I knew what was going to happen. Padres
they
were doomed. They were going to get packed, and they had no chance of winning the series. So that is something that I will always remember for my whole life.
Speaking of, you should both be grateful that both of your teams got approximately an equal amount of rest, because the last 2 times the Tigers made the World Series, they were off for like 4 days and then 5 days between the CS and the World Series, and just came in sleepwalking, and before you knew it, the series was over. The second time, I actually saw it coming because I saw it on Memories today. So we were about to wrap up the CS, and I'm like, they need to throw a couple of these games just so they're not rusty.
I ain't worried about that. This is going to be a great World Series. But we got to talk about some other stuff. We're going to go to our player of the week, Marcus Allen. This is a guy that I feel like this guy has so many accomplishments. Like you can't really name a thing that this guy hasn't done. College, Heisman Trophy winner. NFL, league MVP, offensive player of the year, multiple time All-Pro, Super Bowl MVP. He led the league in rushing touchdowns. He led the league in rushing yards, probably a few times. The man was a beast. But I feel like for some reason, even though Bo Jackson really didn't do nearly as much in the NFL, like Bo Jackson is like the big name. You know, you don't know Bo, or you know Bo. You know, all the commercials, all the pizzazz, everything was around Bo Jackson. So I actually think when it comes to running backs in the league, Marcus Allen, you know, a little bit overshadowed, a little bit forgotten. I think that he was clearly one of the best. And as I said, his trophy case is loaded. You can't really name something that he didn't do. So Marcus Allen, beast. And definitely exciting guy to have for player of the week this week.
Yeah, most definitely. I still say to this day that the backfield of Allen and Jackson is probably a top 10 all-time backfield.
Random, yeah.
Yeah, you know, even though Bo only played, 5-6 years, but during that time period, oh man, it was like pick your poison. Like, and then not to mention, like, if you picked the Raiders on Take-One Bowl, it was almost a guaranteed victory, because I ain't gonna throw it. All I'm gonna do is run the ball. Jackson or Allen. Jackson or Allen, you know. So, but yeah, just going through, he did win Super Bowl Most Valuable Player. He was an NFL MVP in 1985. He was Offensive Player of the Year in 85. He was Offensive Rookie of the Year in 82. Comeback Player of the Year in 93. That was when he was with the Chiefs.
The man literally won every award.
Yeah, two-time first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time rushing touchdowns leader. He got a rushing crown in 1985, scoring leader in 82, a national champion in 78, Heisman Trophy winner in 81, Trojans number 33 retired, unanimous All-American in 81, Pac-10 Player of the Year 81. This dude's trophy case is loaded, like James said. He averaged 4.1 yards per carry, has 123 rushing touchdowns, 21 receiving. He can't catch it out the back. He was lethal out of the backfield, as a matter of fact. He rushed for 12,243 yards. He's in the College and Pro Football Hall of Fame. So, yeah, well, Marcus Allen, man, like, you talk about a dude. And the fact that he was essentially rejuvenated in Kansas City, you know, because he played his first 11 years with the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And he played like another 4 or 5 with Kansas City, where he was a solid back. Like, he had longevity. The man played like 14, 15 years? When a running back shelf life is normally what? 8 years?
16 years.
16 years. He played. If you think about it, he played double what a normal running back plays. You know? So, like, he was like before Frank Gore, he was the Gore of his time. You know, but yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, you talk about an all-star, and he joins that long list of great USC running backs to come out of Southern California with him and OJ and all them other cats, and just, yeah, I mean,
I actually didn't realize that his resume was so loaded. I mean, MVP, league MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Heisman, Offensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year. He literally won like every award that you could win. Like, I don't think there's anything else he could have won.
Before Bo got there, if you was to say Marcus was the Raiders offense, no one would be mad at that.
Pound for pound, he might have the greatest resume.
Yeah, absolutely. Dom, I know you got something to say, man. Go ahead.
This was something I didn't know until today. His rookie year, in 9 games and on 160 carries only, mind you, led the league in rushing touchdowns. 11 touchdowns on 160 carries. Then, 16 years later, his last season in the league, at the age of 37, 11 touchdowns on 124 carries.
Wow.
He's one of those ones. I mean, he was that part of the reason I think he lasted so long. Kind of light usage, because I'm looking at the carries. Never had 300 other than 85 when he had 380, and then he led the league in rushing, also with 11 touchdowns. But yeah, criminally underrated. Maybe the most underrated ever, because you don't necessarily hear his name right off the bat when people talk about all-time running backs. You might hear Tony Dorsett. Sorry, Marcus Allen's better.
Way better. Way better. And Dorsett was an animal, don't get me wrong. But and then aside from the fact the man was a home run hitter. Like, you could be at your own like 30, 35. If he touched the ball, it just might go all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was pretty much it. Kind of prototypical size, like 6'2", 210. So he's big enough, but also fast. Yeah. I mean, it's Marcus Allen.
Very well-rounded guy. So we're going to take a short break here. And when we get back, we're going to go over our Gauntlet grinders for the week.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gauntlet is brought to you by Fanatics. Make sure you guys check all the links down below on your next order on Fanatics. And, it would really help out all of us here at Gauntlet Sports Media and the Sideline Sports Network Empire. So definitely check that stuff out. Shameless plug. But we got to talk about our Gauntlet Grinders. Gauntlet Grinders was brought to us by our main man, Jay Nelson. So Gauntlet Grinder is basically players that were on their grind for the past week. I'm going to give my nomination to Joe Burrow, Joe Burr, Joe Shiesty, Joe Cool, whatever you want to call him. And I got to give a shout out because you remember at the Super Bowl Media Week on the Zoom stuff, first ever interview by yours truly with Joe Burrow. So that's my guy. But the man had 350 yards passing and like 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdown passes in the first half. Just in the first half. So Joe and this offense of the Bengals is getting stuff going. They're getting everything humming. Unfortunately, Jamar is going to be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. But Tyler Boyd had a big performance. T. Higgins is still there. So I think we're going to start to see, can T. Higgins elevate his game into being a wide receiver 1? I think that he has the skills to do so. So I feel like with Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they're going to continue to play better. And, the Baltimore Ravens just coming off of a win over the Buccaneers on Thursday night. I haven't been too impressed with the Ravens, to be honest. The Ravens did beat the Bengals early in the season, but Lamar is not looking too hot. The Ravens are not looking good. They are having some injuries. I think the Bengals can catch up to them and win the AFC North when the season is all said and done.
And another thing, everyone is talking about, Hurts and Allen and Lamar Jackson in the MVP convo. It might be time to throw Burrow in that same conversation here in about a game or two.
If he keeps playing like this, I agree.
Yeah, but my Gauntlet grinder, I had 2, one from the AFC, one from the NFC. So from the AFC, I had to go with running back Josh Jacobs. In the win versus my Texans, 38-20, he had 20 carries. He ran the lights out. Like, we couldn't do nothing with him. 20 carries for 143. He averaged 7.2 yards per carry, which was insane, with 3 touchdowns. He had one that just about sealed it in the fourth quarter. And he's been on a pretty tear as of late. So, yeah, that was my AFC. And my NFC, can't believe I'm saying this, but I got to give it to him. His quarterback, Daniel Jones. So, versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, they won 23-17. And passing, he was 19 of 30 for 202 with a touchdown. QBR was 87.0, passer rating 94.0. But then added to that, he had 11 carries for 107, averaging 9.7 yards per carry with another TD Jakes. So he had 2 total TD Jakes, and it took a goal line stop, and he didn't lose the game. Are you listening, JB Ellis? He didn't lose the game, but the Giants are now 6-1. He's been a reason why they're 6-1. And yeah, he's my gauntlet grinder for the NFC. Go ahead, Dom.
Well, 2 things about the Giants. One, I'm going to give you credit, JB Ellis, because he said, watch out for them this year. They're going to be better than people think. They weren't that bad last year. They were competitive in a lot of games. They just lost most of the close ones. But now that Saquon's healthy, Daniel Jones is just a footnote. Although it's funny because when I finally turned my back on him, now he's playing better again. As far as grinders, you took my AFC one. It's crazy. Jacobs is over 100 yards per game. He's at 630 something in 6 games. Also has 6 touchdowns. It's funny because there was many rumors swirling preseason week 1 because they ran him out there and gave him 18 carries in a preseason game, and they're like, "Oh, Josh Jacobs is on the move," and I'm like, "Yeah, hopefully he's to Detroit," but it didn't happen. NFC grinder, it's Kenneth Walker, 23 carries.
I knew he was going there.
168 yards.
Didn't mean to cut you off, but did you see the fan? There was a Chargers fan that was flipping off Kenneth Walker in the stands, and Kenneth Walker, he made it his profile picture on Twitter.
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
Was it when he was waving bye-bye to him and every Charger?
I'll send it to you after the show. But it's actually pretty dope. But didn't mean to cut you off. But we do have JJ joining us now. So what up, JJ?
Oh, how you guys doing? Sorry for my delay. It's been
better late than never.
One footnote on Kenneth Walker. Now that Breece Hall's hurt, Kenneth Walker currently 2-1 favorite for the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Who else is contending for it right now?
That's what other than Breece Hall, I couldn't even tell you who the third guy is. Dameon Pierce?
Maybe Dameon Pierce, but that's it.
I can't think of any rookies that have been really outstanding.
Not on offense.
Not on offense. I would say on defense, Sauce Gardner's clear favorite for that. But JJ, what's up, fam? Do you want to have a gauntlet grinder real quick?
I'm already late. It's okay.
No. We're still on the segment.
We still got plenty of time, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're still on.
But this is for last week.
Last week.
Okay. So that would be my gauntlet grinder. The AFC would be Allen, because again, this is his league, right? This is his MVP season. It's unstoppable, looks unflappable. Just looks like he's just nothing else can stop him. Go against Kansas City. Was that this past weekend, right?
The Bills were on a bye this week. That was the week before, week 6.
Yeah, skip week. I don't know.
All right, then. So we're going to go on to our next topic, which is going to be, we're going to talk about some of the veteran quarterbacks, that we saw. Quarterback carousel. You had Carson Wentz going to Washington. You had Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. You had Matt Ryan going to the Colts. Matt Ryan gets benched this week. Sam Ehlinger is going to start for the Colts. Russell Wilson has been awful. Baker Mayfield, he hasn't even playing anymore. PJ Walker is a starter for the Carolina Panthers, a former XFL standout. Also went to Temple. Shout out to Temple Owls. But it's pretty much been a disaster for the majority of these quarterbacks that we have seen move around the league. So I gotta say, in my opinion, it's not even close. Even though you can make an argument for anyone, but I gotta go for Russell Wilson. Just off of what the Broncos gave up. They gave up multiple first-round draft picks. They gave up a lot of draft capital to bring in Russell Wilson that was supposed to bring this offense to the next level. The Denver Broncos defense is outstanding. They're playing at a very high level, but they're being absolutely wasted. If you look at this Broncos offense, they are one of the worst offenses in the league. They are the worst offense in the league in terms of scoring points, averaging 14 points per game. In this league where you have to score a lot of points to win games, because there's a lot of high-powered offenses in the league. Last few years, we've seen the offenses go and ascend to the next level. 14 points per game ain't going to get it done. One of the worst red zone offenses, 31st in red zone offenses, only converting 23% in the red zone. And then you're one of the worst offenses, 31st, 32nd on third downs. Russell Wilson, you're being paid, $240 million for a contract extension. All this stuff about let Russ cook. You can't cook. I don't know if I would trust Russ to cook, some ramen noodles in my house. You tell him to boil some water, the house is going to burn to the ground. I don't trust. Russ can't cook. He cannot cook. Hashtag Russ, let Russ cook. Why I'm going to let a guy cook that cannot cook? Because he can't cook in the league. So Russ is my pick.
This man would burn your whole house down making some Easy Mac.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say here. Easy Mac, instant ramen, TV dinners, the red ones, the banquets. House is going to go up into flames. Russ is my pick, although I will say you can make an argument for any of these guys. Jay, you want to go?
Yeah, I was going to say Matt Ryan, but I'm going to say the same for Russell Wilson, especially considering the hype coming in. And it's like every single time after a loss, we see the same Broncos country, let's ride. Well, I got a couple for you. Broncos country on faux flats, Broncos country in the auto part shop, Broncos country in the chop shop, Broncos country sitting on bricks in the ghetto. Because that's all we've seen so far. I mean, and I called it, and I think I said this either on a Sports Arena or Sideline Sports. This is the great train robbery. I don't know how many years I've heard about my Texans paying Osweiler $172 million, and then this comes along. So thank you, Denver Broncos. Thank you, Russell Wilson, for getting that off my shoulders. Now, like JT said, man, one of the worst offenses in the league. You're supposed to have stud receivers, and there was the whole thing with Jerry Jeudy. He had a spat with Shannon Sharpe on Twitter and everything. But also at the same time, I think Rush might be blind out there, y'all. He's missing throws he's supposed to make that a quarterback will make. He's missing reads a college level quarterback should be able to make. Like I'm not getting it. I'm not understanding it. I don't know what's going on. I know Nathaniel Hackett is getting his share of the blame, and rightfully so. But also at the same time, if you're the veteran quarterback coming from a place that you played at for a long time and you're well established and everything, and people are saying that you're on the decline and you only proving them right. So something's got to shake out there, dude. I know Matt Ryan, he's looking at being out for the rest of the year. I think his career is probably all but done, even though homeboy looked 35 coming out of Boston College, but that's neither here nor there.
But if you ink a contract extension for $230 million, Russ's performance is unacceptable. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. I'm gonna pass it on to Dom. Go ahead, man.
I gotta agree with James. I go Russ just based upon the cost, but I think between the four of us, we all saw each one of these things coming. Obviously, James said that Wentz would fail in Washington. I think we all said that Matt Ryan would fail in Indy, and I definitely said that Russ was not going to work out in Denver. People called me crazy. I'm like, this is a last place team, and now look at them.
They are.
My only question is, who's the next exhumed corpse that Indy goes after next year? Because we've already had Phillip Rivers, then we had Carson Wentz. Now
Rivers got him to the playoffs.
True.
Rivers did get him to the playoffs and was like, I think they lost that game by like 3. If we see Music City Malik, you might see Tannehill in Indianapolis.
It's been a
And
nightmare for the Colts ever since Andrew Luck retired.
Yeah, it has. They're on how many starting quarterbacks now? I mean,
I never knew. Like, I knew that was going to be bad for them, but I didn't know it was going to ruin their franchise to this level.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and
the Colts did the same thing with their roster that the Lions did right before we traded Matt Stafford. Finally got him in O-line. And now look at poor Stafford in LA.
Luck could have been so good. And we got Wyatt tuning in. What's up, Wyatt? Appreciate you for tuning in the show. He said, if we grab Ryan Tannehill, please plan my funeral. Oh, man. I love Wyatt. But, JJ, what's your answer to this question?
It ain't Russ, I'll tell you that. I don't have that. I think I'm learning that he's not a likable guy. And I think that's the reason why he has a lot of issues with these people, because these guys are young. They're not looking at him as somebody as like a prominence. They're looking at him as somebody of, who are you, son? And he hasn't been benched. He hasn't been that bad to the point where they wanted to bench him like they did the quarterback in Carolina.
He's making too much money to get benched.
Or making the quarterback up in Indianapolis, who had to, now all of a sudden the injury comes out afterwards. And at the end of the day, the Indianapolis Colts was in a better position to get a quarterback that could just do just enough to keep them afloat, as opposed to the Broncos, who people did have questions about that. And they thought that Russell was going to come in and remedy it, but we're finding out that they need a little bit more. They haven't had their running game being able to be getting up and going. Melvin Gordon has fumbled the ball numerous times, which has changed the trajectory on that team. So we're not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and think that it's just all on Russ. I think it's easy to get on him, and I think that's the media's fame and love right now is just to pound on Russ and pound on Russ. But then we don't. And then like at the same time, I hear people say that Daniel Hackett's not this. That Daniel Hackett's not this. So which is it? Is it Russ?
What up, Birdman?
So I don't really get on Russ. I'll be honest with you. I was going to go indirect a little bit on this one because he was with the team, then he retired, then he came back, and now he looks bad. And I'll go to Tom Brady because in a way, he was acquired in the offseason after being a free agent. And so he was considered an acquisition. And
I can't count Brady in this. I mean, like guys that were traded.
I can, and I love you for that, JJ.
He just does not look the same. And so at the end of the day, even
he should have stayed retired.
This is the same.
At this point, I don't even care what happens with my team because it's overshadowed by Tom Brady moonwalking into retirement.
Same guy that last year threw 40 touchdowns.
The divorce is destroying this man. Like, I actually think it really is having an effect on him. I'm not going to make
O-line. It's the O-line mostly.
I'm not going to make fun of him for that whole situation because I think it's serious. But it is kind of sad to see it. You know, this is a guy that we never thought would see a moment like this in his career.
So my thing is going Brady over Russ is that the reason why they said Brady retires is because Arians was the problem. Kick him out. Brady comes back in. Oh, Tampa Bay's about to run through it again. Tampa Bay's about to sit here and do the dang thing. Todd Bowles is in there. Everything's going to work fine. Julio Jones got signed. Leonard Fournette, he's back. Their O-line is back. Hasn't looked good at all. And at the end of the day...
one of their O-linemen retired and another one's out for the year. That's their main problem.
Do you think he's looking like Peyton Manning remember when Peyton Manning was terrible his last season? Even though the Broncos still won the Super Bowl because they had one of the best defenses. It ain't going to happen for the Buccaneers, but it's kind of similar, right?
He's still in ducks, but Peyton's arm was done. Peyton's arm was literally done. Like he would throw 40 yards if he wanted to try at that time. And so yeah, I'm gonna go Brady. I understand the Russ thing, but I'm gonna go Brady.
That was kind of out of left field, but you guys have any other thoughts on other guys like Baker Mayfield?
I was going to say, let's not forget about Baker.
All the commercials going to the Panthers. You guys not even playing now. You know, some of these guys, Matt Ryan, Baker, they're not even playing on the field anymore.
I had a feeling this was going to happen.
What did I say about Baker?
That he's not that
what did
guy.
I say 2 years ago about Baker? But what did I say when they made this trade? You gave yourselves a quarterback controversy. Then when Darnold got hurt, because I told Jen this, I'm like, in a couple weeks here, you're going to start praying for the speedy recovery of Sam Darnold. Side note, thank you,
Sam
PJ
Darnold's not
Walker,
even
for playing
either.
well last week.
PJ is the man.
2 starts, 2 wins.
Panthers are definitely going to draft a quarterback, though, in the draft.
They got to start PJ the rest of the season. I mean, this is a prime example of what happens when you take a team away from Baker. Because in Cleveland, you had to surround him with a team in order to succeed. When you put him on his own, you look at what happens. You know?
You know what's crazy, though? Whoever wins between the Falcons and the Panthers is going to be first place in the NFC South.
Yeah.
Falcons.
So the Panthers are not out of this thing. Like, the NFC South is trash. The Saints are trash. The Buccaneers are trash.
No one is out of anything in the entire NFL except the Lions.
All the teams stink. All the teams stink, but none of the teams are out of it yet.
No.
That's what's crazy to me.
Because the division's so bad.
It's because September is the new preseason.
Apparently. I mean, like, you look at, like, okay, the NFC West ain't all that. But at least Seattle's been, pretty decent so far. But everyone in the NFC South
one of
has
the biggest
been
surprises.
Yeah.
Geno Smith, dark horse MVP candidate. If they win that division, how do you not give it to him?
Geno Smith over Russell Wilson all day.
As of right now, yes. As of right now, yes. Because, I mean, dude has really been balling.
He has one of the top completion percentages in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone had that on their bingo card.
He's got one of the best stories in the NFL because he's been in for like 10 years, and we've seen past Geno. But maybe this is what is because, testament to how bad the Jets were back then. And then, I don't know, I guess you put him with a good coach and look at what he's doing. He's been kind of biding his time and waiting for a shot again. And, it's almost like the game found him again. I'm happy for Geno. He's out there. And the Seahawks win the division is a most definite surprise. A most definite surprise.
Then they're running the ball. Like, before Rashad Penny got hurt, he was running the ball.
Number one, what's their record? And number two, they're about to lose 9 or 10.
They're 4-3. They're in first place in the NFC West.
I doubt they'll finish 7-10. I promise you. I don't believe in this. I think that he's just fool's gold. I think that after
the NFC West is not that good, though. The Rams are not that good. The 49ers are better on paper, but on the field, they've been inconsistent. And now they're having injuries. Debo's injured. He's not playing this week.
I don't buy it. I don't think it's. I would be. I have them winning up to 7 games max. I can see them having a long losing streak.
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that after the show. I'm gonna look up the rest of their remaining schedule.
I'll look at it right now.
Since we're kind of short. You got one more thing to say, Jay?
I'll put it to you like this, and we can continue. The only matchup this Sunday of all the games between two teams with winning records, Seahawks versus Giants.
Ooh.
Well, they're about to. I think they're going to go.
The only matchup between two teams with winning records.
If they beat the Giants, will you change your mind?
Nope.
Okay.
Because I think it's fool's gold. I don't. Think
the Seahawks could win the division at 7-10. LOL, Joseph can dig at them, but watch it. Ooh, Wyatt. Wyatt said you better watch it, JJ.
Why are you still
watch that tongue, bro?
Why are you still mad because we came back from 21 down to beat you last year? Now you're coming at me today. Nice, good to see you.
I'm really scared. Cooper Rush has more quality wins than Hurts. Are we frauds?
That's my only trepidation about Philly. Who have you really beat?
We've beaten the teams that we're
everyone on your schedule. That's good enough for me so far.
We haven't lost to anyone. We haven't lost to anyone, so you can't say that we lost to a team we were supposed to beat yet because it hasn't.
So in terms, I want to say this because I made the post today. I've seen this before. I just hope Philly's not peaking early because we peaked early and then it bought us in the
Philly
end.
has not peaked, I can tell you that. We can play much, much better than what we played. But I don't have time to go into that whole debate right now. We have to finish up with our last topic with the NFL. NFL trade deadline. There have been some moves. We're going to talk about some of the moves that have happened so far and maybe some of the moves that we could see coming. If you guys have any moves that you could see coming before the trade deadline on Tuesday. But let's talk over some of the moves. So, Robert Quinn. He was traded to the Eagles for a fourth-round pick. So the Eagles bolster that pass rush up a little bit. Pass rush already been really good for the Eagles this season. You had a guy like Robert Quinn, who last season, when he was with the Bears in a different defensive scheme than the one that they have now, 18 and a half sacks. So I think that when he's in a scheme that he's more comfortable with over here, I think that he could have an opportunity to thrive. I don't see him being 18 and a half double-digit sack guy because he is going to be on a pitch count because the Eagles do like to keep their guys fresh and rotate on the defensive line. Good move. You had James Robinson get traded to the Jets after their running back, Breece Hall, got injured. So I think that's actually a pretty good move. And you had Kadarius Toney, the former first-round pick of the Giants. He's over with the Chiefs now. So we'll see how that goes. Definitely hasn't been good with the Giants. But in that offense with Patrick Mahomes and the weapons that they have, one thing Toney does have is speed. The Chiefs are known for having a lot of guys with speed. So we'll have to see how all that goes. But you guys have any thoughts on the trade so far?
The Eagles.
Kadarius Toney.
Can I go first? Can I go first, please?
Go ahead,
Go
JJ.
ahead.
Thank you. The Eagles getting Robert Quinn happened right around the same time I see my Ravens get Marcus Peters back in 2019 because it was right before the Seahawks game and we were 4-2, which was 6 games in. Here comes Robert Quinn when they're 6-0. So we're going to see he should do well because there's Jordan Davis, who's a monster, Reddick, Graham, Cox, all of them. It's going to be a good one. The Kadarius Toney one is interesting because I thought he was hurt. That was a big reason why he hasn't played, not because he fell out of favor. And if that was the case, it's interesting that they're willing to move on from him, who showed more fight this year than Kenny Galladay has done, and he takes up more cap space than Kadarius Toney. So it's
much easier to trade Toney.
But I like the Quinn move, but I also like the Kadarius Toney move because Patrick Mahomes will take anybody and enjoy it. They'll take anybody and everybody. And the way that the Giants used to use Kadarius Toney is the same way that I think that they will use him in Kansas City offense. And there's too many weapons to guard. You can't guard them all. And what I think they realized is this move was because of the Buffalo Bills game where they seen that they got stretched out, but they couldn't stretch the Bills out all the way they wanted to. So they got another person to add another person for them to kind of cover because they know that against Josh Allen, you better have everybody get on there. Everybody's got to get on there.
Fair enough.
I didn't realize the trade deadline was so soon. I'll go back to the fire sale in Carolina, trading Christian McCaffrey. It's so funny to me. A team like San Francisco that can't keep running backs healthy to save their lives, they go get a high-priced one who already has a proven track record of not being able to stay healthy. The Robert Quinn move was very nice. The other one that I see,
the 49ers gave up a lot of picks for McCaffrey too.
They did. The move that should have been made there was in the offseason, Watson for McCaffrey, just to bring that asking price on the draft picks down. That's here nor there. The Robert Quinn move was nice. Chicago's doing the same thing, getting rid of everything that they possibly have of value. The other, I've been hearing this rumor for multiple weeks now, is someone, the name on the top of the list now is Chase Claypool to the Packers. I guess they're asking for a second rounder. I don't know if they'll get it. And the other thing is, in the grand scheme, Chase Claypool
Packers
is
are pretty desperate.
They are.
They might do it. I wouldn't rule it out.
I think they will.
Yeah, I don't think that the Packers would be willing to give up a second round pick. Plus, relatively speaking, Chase Claypool is young, for one. For two, he doesn't know a thing about that playbook. So are you really going to give up a second round pick
If you're the
and bring him
Packers,
in so then
have a
Aaron Rodgers will not trust him or throw him the ball?
I have a hypothetical. If you're the Green Bay Packers, do you give up a second for Chase Claypool, or do you give up a first for DJ Moore? Because it kind of reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys.
If
years ago in 2018,
I'm
the
running
Cowboys-
the team, I'm doing
Cowboys-
neither
The Cowboys were desperate
because
and they gave up a first.
Aaron Rodgers won't trust them.
They gave up a first-round pick for Amari Cooper, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, why would they do this?" And it completely changed their season. So could DJ Moore do that for the Green Bay Packers? I don't know.
He could,
Maybe.
but will Aaron Rodgers trust him?
He has no choice.
He has to.
He's got no choice.
Who is he going to trust?
Shoot.
I agree with you. Apparently, Randall Cobb and Robert Tonyan. And now look at their record.
Rookies.
Now look at them. Yeah, I mean,
defense is good enough. They should. The whole thing. They have two very good running backs. You know, they re-signed Aaron Jones, then they drafted A.J. Dillon in preparation for the post-Aaron Rodgers era. And then they gave him all that money. So it's like, now what are you doing? You got all that money tied up in Jones. You used a relatively high pick on Dillon, and now neither one of them is doing a thing.
Yeah.
So Green Bay should run the ball more.
I said this to Tyler. I was like, dude, you got a low key.
Then it just makes it look worse because why would you give Rodgers that money? And then
you know what? Hold on. Before you continue, all money aside, okay? Rodgers has one ring, the same amount as Pat Mahomes, the same amount as Drew Brees. Eli Manning has more rings than him. It's about, can he win another one? Can he win one more? Look, Peyton Manning,
he doesn't care.
Peyton Manning, to win his second ring, guess what he had to do? He had to run the ball because he was old. That's why. You know what I mean? And did they win? Yeah, they won. You know what I mean? Dude, at this point in time, Rodgers as a quarterback has nothing else left to prove. He done won 4 MVPs. You know what I mean?
He doesn't care about another ring.
I'm not going to go that far because then what's his end game? If it's not about another ring, what's his end game?
His passer rating and his touchdown to interception ratio.
So he cares more about a 5th most valuable player than a Super Bowl ring, a second ring.
100%.
I don't know about all that. I
don't know what your point is, Dom, because Aaron Rodgers.
The proof's in the
Aaron Rodgers earned his contract. He earned his contract. He's been producing.
He did. He's the most talented quarterback I've ever seen.
He's earned the contract, is what I'm saying.
If he cared about a ring, he would have been like, give me 10 less million per year and go get me a veteran receiver.
Well, no, not everyone has Tom Brady doesn't have it anymore, but when Tom Brady was taking pay cuts, this was because Giselle was making more money than him. Not everyone has that.
Because Tom Brady knew, I don't need to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. I don't need to be the 10th highest. Give me some money. I've got plenty. Go get me some players.
Mahomes is making $500 million over 10 years. Like, a bunch of these guys are making a bunch of money. So if you're saying it for one guy, you have to say it for everyone.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
The same holds true for all the rest of them. If you really want to win a title, take less than market value. Ask Tom Brady how that's worked out. Very well.
Literally, that's why they call it the Patriot way.
All right, so if you guys don't have any more thoughts on the trade deadline, which, by the way, it does end on Tuesday, 4 o'clock Eastern, I do believe. So we'll have to see next week if there's some more moves for us to talk about on the show. But last 10 minutes of the show, you know what it is. It's a non-sports related topic. I really wish our man Tyler was here. I'm going to have to tell him to go fast forward to around the 50-minute mark, last 10 minutes of the show here. What is the worst Halloween candy of all time? Or candies, because I know we're all going to have probably multiple ones. You have circus peanuts, garbage. Candy corn, garbage. Good and Plenty, garbage. Am I missing anything else? Bottle caps, trash. Like, you go.
No. Bottle caps are good, just not the root beer ones.
Trick or treating or trunk or treating or whatever treating that you do, you don't want that in your bag, fam. It's like they're all trash. Those are the 3 or 4 that comes off the top of my head. So, Tyler, Candy Police, if you see anybody with candy corn or circus peanuts or any of that crap, please come on in and arrest them ASAP.
Yeah, Necco wafers is like flavored
you
chocolate.
got mine.
One. There's another one.
Oh no, I'm gonna let you continue on that one. I'm just naming just a little bit. Like, okay, the candy buttons mentioned, like I can kind of see that, but I didn't have any problem with it. Candy corn, yeah, that's up there. Okay, so like y'all remember the half waxy, like the pumpkin joints that look like pumpkins?
Stop taking all my good ones.
Okay, I'll let you get on that. I'll let you get on that.
Go ahead. Tell them. Tell the people.
No, you got it. You got it, bro. That pretty much was the two to me. I mean, there was another one that was supposed to be like peanut butter based, and it was horrible. It wasn't peanut brittle. You know what I'm talking about, Dom?
Yeah, I mean, it was maybe some kind of generic, like peanut butter-ish chew, usually in like a black or an orange wrapper.
Yeah, like almost kind of like, we're obviously drunk as hell and we're in the back home making candy because we can't afford none. To give to the kids. It tastes like that. Like they spit it out like right in front of us. Like that. Yeah, I've always been like, yeah, that's like the worst one. That's been hanging around since like the 80s, since I was trick or treating and everything. But yeah, go ahead, Dom, because I know you want to go off on the two that I mentioned.
Necco wafers. That's I would rather eat Rolaids, and I don't eat Rolaids. But yeah, I don't even I haven't seen them in a long time. Granted, I haven't been trick or treating. I haven't been at the store looking for the stuff, but the wax lips. It was just wax. They tried to say it turned into gum. It did not turn into gum. You're just chewing on wax. There's some other ones.
I remember that.
You're actually making me sick. Like you're using all these adjectives.
That's the point.
My stomach is churning right now.
Oh, have you accidentally swallowed? Have you accidentally swallowed?
No, I haven't. But I'm imagining it
in the shape of some lips with
I'm imagining it and it's making me sick.
It literally like
underrated. Right? You're also wrong about candy corn. Candy corn is delicious.
No, I'm not. Candy corn, you might as well eat crayons. But go ahead, JJ. You all right? You're quiet.
Candy corn is made with real honey.
What's your
post? You made a post about candy corn.
What's your worst candy, JJ? Like the lemon starburst? Like what you got?
I don't like candy like that anyway. So most of the stuff that people think, I think is also nasty. Like I think Snickers are nasty. I think Twix are nasty. I think Kit Kats are nasty. So I'm a little different. But I did think candy corn is the worst. Straight up.
He brought it back home.
The debate is over.
Red vines are in the bottom 5.
Look at this man. He's wearing the same disgusting shirt that he was wearing last year when we had our Halloween episode.
He gonna wear it every year we do this too. Like keep that shirt.
It's a new tradition. I texted Dawn before the show. I said the new tradition is you're gonna wear that disgusting shirt every year when we have the show.
What did I
gotta hear something real quick. Now, I want to know what you think is so amazing about candy corn. Like, is it the texture, the taste? Like,
make your case.
What's amazing about candy? Because I don't think we've ever
heard.
The
only thing that's good about candy corn is you use it for your school project.
Oh, when you make the turkey. It's not even that like, oh, I love it. It's it's my favorite candy ever. I don't understand the hate. It's one of those things that people started hating because it became popular to hate it, like Nickelback. Although for the record, I've always hated Nickelback. It's not that bad. It's not like good either. Like I don't purchase it in the
you only think it's good because a bunch of people hate it. So you actually don't have a real reason for thinking it's good.
No, I like it. Because
why do you like it?
Yeah.
Like what
the taste, the texture,
explain to us Dom, what is good?
I kind of like how it tastes.
Okay.
I'm the bastion of hope for, like I have to defend poor helpless candy corn because it's not that bad. It just became a thing to hate it. I don't love it. I just don't hate it.
So the main reason why you like it is you feel like you're standing up to the candy that's being bullied.
Pretty much.
Kind of, but like I've always kind of liked it. Like, I don't know. I like candy corn.
well,
I like the pumpkins that come with it and like the fall mix. I don't know.
You like those?
Yeah.
Those are words. Those are words.
I don't know.
Candy corn sucks, bro. Like there's
I like the texture.
Saying people hate it to be trendy. It tastes like you're eating a box of crayons, bro. It's literally in the top 5 worst. There might be something that's worse than it. I don't know, like trash, like circus peanuts or something is equally as trash.
Circus peanuts are pretty foul.
To close this out, I'm going to give a tribute to my grandmother, June Tatum, who passed away in 2012. God rest her beautiful soul. But she used to say something. And the saying was, you can shine crap all you want. At the end of the day, it's still going to be crap. And candy corn's crap. It's still crap. It's garbage. It sucks. There's not much else to say about that.
So what we used to do as kids is that when me, my brother, and my cousin used to go trick-or-treating, at the end, we would all put our candy out, and everybody had their one candy that they wanted. So you would just pretty much trade off with each other and stuff. Give me the Starburst and the Skittles. I don't care about nothing else. Just give me those. You can have everything else that you want. That's
Pink
all
Starburst all the way.
I'm much more of a fruit candy person. You know what else is in the bottom 5? Smarties.
Oh no, come on, man.
Smarties are good.
Smarties are good, bro.
I'm neutral. Like I don't think they're that good, but I also don't think they.
You know what else are trash? Boston baked beans.
The one I don't like. The one I don't like is Mike and Ike's.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
Boot this man.
We're not doing that.
I do not like
Jelly Joes are not good. Mike and Ike's are.
JT, his time's done. Cut him. We can't go disrespecting the Mike and Ike's. Come on, man, throw us out.
Actually, 2 of them. 2 particular flavors of an otherwise good candy. The apple Skittles, they finally got rid of them. Lime is back, and then the mint Juji fruits.
What about Junior Mints? You guys like Junior Mints?
Yeah, they're not bad. They're little miniature York patties, but in a ball. But okay, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Sure.
So I guess that's going to close us out for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Halloween to everyone out there. Hope everyone, takes the kids trick-or-treating, take them to, whatever trunk or treat, special events and stuff.
All candy corn can be sent to Dominic DeRubis, 36935 Lancaster Street,
please do.
Livonia, Michigan, 48154-1815.
Are you sure you want to put your address out there? Because you're now giving people the power to...
No BS. You sure just did.
Send me some money, or
people could send you anything to your address now. You know that, right?
I'll take a glitter bomb.
Well,
fine.
Do you want Ryan Hunter to send you a pooping video like he did?
Ladies and gentlemen, you see what I have to put up with. You see what I have to put up with. With all this here. Go ahead, Jack.
I'm sorry. Also, on a serious note, to anyone out there that's a parent and taking your kids trick-or-treating, look through those bags when you get done, because there are some people out here with ill intentions, bad intentions. They're sticking to poison kids. They're sticking razors and all that. Inspect your kids' candy before you release it to them after you get done trick-or-treating. Stay safe.
100%. With all of us here at the Sideline Sports Empire, Sideline Sports family, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for continuing your support of the Gauntlet and all of our great shows here on the network. So we will see you guys next time.